of lucerne or H lucerne, it has the result at the higher biomass yield and dry matter yield and the crude protein yield and with also net returns. Some of the future line of work that is it is very lacking in the testing of we have to test the different compatible fast growing legumes because we have to get the additional that nutrients from the leguminous crops. So that is lacking in further studies and also the long term effect of different perennial fodder cropping systems on physical and biological properties of the soil need to be studied, because for doing the long duration crops or the long perennial crops, there may be the soil or any physical or chemical changes will be maybe happens that's why that need to be studied in the future studies. And last one, that is integrated nutrient management studies in perennial legume system intercropping system need to be studied, because there is no one study they have not given the package of practice for the intercropping of in the fodder cropping systems. Finally, I acknowledge to the my chairperson and the committee members and the Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture, Shivamogga, and Department of Livestock Farm Complex, Veterinary College, Shivamogga, and one more, that is Animal Nutrition, Veterinary College, Shivamogga. Thank you.
Type of research? Pardon? Well, I won't like to brief in all that. I give a fair this one to everyone. Okay? Because this is the problem. We all get carried away by the newer techniques like molecular biology and all. Whereas this type of work is also equally important. So that's why I request that we should forget the traditional type of research, because molecular biology is very important. Okay, but this is
at the same time it's a burning issue.
Yes, because like I told in the introduction itself, providing fodder for the livestock is a very, very important aspect.
Is there any role of organic?
Yes, sir.
Organic with these combination or?
That will have given in a future line of work. No one has done with the integrated nutrient management for these fodder crops. They think that fodder is not that much important for their life cycle. That's it, sir. Many are going for the commercial crops only, sir. They are not concerning, because only 8.4 million hectare of land is cultivated for the this fodder production, sir. So this is very, very less, sir. So for that to have to enhance these production by, we can't expand the land, sir. This is horizontal expansion is very difficult. So we have to go for these vertical like intercropping, like diversification. But this is one of the alternate option for the production, sir.
In fact, when you say diversification, yes, you very rightly told people will be more interested in going for more remunerative horticulture crops and other crops.
Yes, sir.
So in fact, when you first started the study, I was thinking when you mentioned intercropping and all, I was thinking maybe you would talk of intercropping within coriander, mango, etc. But I'm not to comment about it, because equally this is also important. I have one question. Okay. Now, with you have conducted in one particular type of soil. In different types of soil, will your results be applicable? Your cost of production, the net profit, gross profit, etc. and all?
Sir, definitely, sir. That cost of cultivation will be that much only, sir, for the production of this type of research, sir, or the production of the cultivation. But we can't match that much the production, sir. Maybe the soil will be there, the fertility level will be very, sir. Because I have not studied the fertilizer level, sir. If you go with the higher dose of fertilizer, the products will be more, sir, with increase in the these fertilizer. So maybe the possibility, sir.
Okay. When you say am I right again? Being an entomologist, I can be wrong. Okay. Okay, so am I right when you say that the protein content in the napier increased? Does your study show?
No sir, with respect to this intercropping sir, there is no difference between the nutrient content sir, not that significant difference sir. I observe only less difference because of by getting the higher space that maybe absorbs the nutrients sir. That is one of the point.
That's exactly. So because the protein does, what is the interaction between user and napier?
Like for the nutrient content sir?
Yes.
So nutrient content not varied not that much sir, because I have not gone through the fertility level sir.
There is no in every case we are demonstrating.
So you are, like sir, it's
no, in every KVK they are demonstrating this API provides more of carbohydrates.
yes sir. But it
But
has fixed the nitrogen biology.
leguminous, and now actually, especially, of course, Lucer is a old part, and napier also. Only super napier is going to introduce. And this nutrient content, because of more protein, see, whenever we concentrate the animal, we are expecting animal, so always we try to look for how much protein we are getting.
Yes, sir.
Protein is most important to enhance the milk yield.
Yes, sir.
So in that concept, diversification of the fodder, see, that's the concept of roughage, green fodder, and concentrate. All those balanced means that is from the health of the animal. And
Yes, sir.
so then the context, this is a good thing. But now instead of course plant geometry, so you have to focus more on it's a balanced diet for the
Yes sir.
animal.
Yes sir.
Protein and carbohydrates and other things.
Yes, sir.
So that's your focal point.
Yes, yes,
It's
sir. Yes, sir.
purpose of this, I think.
Actually, the main intention of this experimentation is first one is supply the green for throughout the year. That's one. And another one is introducing the leguminous cream, whereas our cereal crops are rich in carbohydrates. The combination of protein and carbohydrates will match for the milching animals. So in that intention, we have one different.
That's a good idea. Also, I have a question here. How civic pastures, say you are banking,
Yes, yes, sir.
as an agronomist,
Yes, sir.
but as a forester, okay, how you can incorporate the green components? What is your opinion?
Sir, that can be done through in silviculture. You can done sir. You can do sir. Because then we will have the large space in between the two plants, tree species, sir. We can go through the intercrops of these leguminous crops or both combinations. So we can go for the in silviculture, sir.
And whenever you present further, first you have to highlight. So what's the difference between this Recluse and Lucerne and napier grass in terms of already it's national ICR Institute, Animal Nutrition Physiology, they have all these parameters where they are getting, I think, analyzed. So that paper first should be. First is comparison between these crops in terms of should be the
Like
nutrients.
that's nutrient quality, sir.
So from the point as from all the points of availability. See, this Lucerne, I think it's perennial.
Yes, sir. It's a perennial.
Road
Both are
there,
perennial.
harvest. That point, no, because future base one or other way based on the PhD work. So that point is very clear.
I forgot to present that. I have already put up this thing.
Right?
How popular will this system be with the farmers now?
What, sir?
How popular will this system be with the farmers?
Sir,
Adoption.
that is the condition we are expanding these to practice in the farmer's field, sir, to get the additional production of the combined, that is these cereals and in legumes, sir, to get the complete feed of this nutritional quality, sir. Not only we are concentrating on the fodder production, the large bulk quantity with concentration with the quality purpose, sir.
So, have you been able to at least influence one or two farmers at least?
Yes,
take
definitely, sir.
Demo?
Yes. We can have, sir, this demo we can have, sir. In veterinary college they have the demo like these type of combinations, sir.
No, that's again in the veterinary college. I'm asking in some farmers field, have they been able to put the system in place?
We can put influence, but the farmers are not that much interested in this because they are going for the commercial crops because of getting higher remuneration there, sir.
No, wherever dairy is there.
Sir, only dairy is very less, sir.
We cannot compare, see, cropping system, we cannot compare based on only just on returns. Wherever the option. They have to go for it.
Nowadays
That's
there is-
how best they can do it. That's important.
Some of the
Other than
farmers,
Other than that, nowadays the farmers are interested in go for the IFS concept. No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So such farmers are interested
Ah, sir.
to introduce this.
Yes, sir.
That is only the answer for the present the agriculture system.
Yes, sir.
So there you can focus. That's what the judiciary is asking.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nandana.
Thank you, sir.
For the next presenter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable.
Good morning, Kannada. Myself, Darshana, Department of Entomology. Today I am going to give my presentation on the research holistic studies on environmental parasites in different crop ecosystems. So coming to introduction, as we know that environmental parasites are species which are diverse group of insects and potentially accounting for more than 20% of the world's insect, and they have been long been recognized as an important biocontrol agent. So studying the diversity and abundance of these environmental parasites because there is no proper documentation of these environmental parasites in different crop ecosystems. So accurate documentation of parasites will and also along with this should help in proper identification and conservation in their future. So clear understanding of this parasite fauna in different crop ecosystem will be better protection of this environmental parasite diversity. Coming to methodology, I surveyed in Shivamogga, Davangere and Chitragurga district and collected different insect core samples of different stages in different crop ecosystem and brought to the laboratory, and I kept in the rearing dish for parasite emergence. After the emergence of parasite, they were collected and stored in this for further morphological and molecular identification. So usually different parasites will attack the different stages of the insects like egg, larva, here you can see the figure. First figure of the parasite. You can see the parasites coming out from the egg mass, and also you can see the exit hole of the parasite on the egg mass of Spodoptera fujipara and maize, and exit hole of parasite on the adult of Nippococcus nipe and coconut, and you can see here the exit hole of parasite on the pupa of Glutella xerostella and cabbage, and likewise in larva of Trichopsiani and adults of the Coccidia insolita, Benza. And egg mass of Megacopter criproria and feed bin, and also you can see the parasite cocoon that is emerged from the larva of Exolastis atmosa and feed bin. Coming to morphological identification, there are total of 1,380 parasites were collected. Among them, they belongs to 43 families, 43 species of 34 genera and 12 families. And here I am giving few species for few characters of species. First one is Chilonas parmesanus. It is having diagnostic characters of metazoma, which is rugulose, and Propodium distinctly reticulate, carapace, which is having convex and coarsely punctate punctations that turning denser and smaller, which is as moved towards the apical region. It is the egg larval parasitoid of the Spodoptera fujipara. Then comes to Crinibrocan chromose, which is a pupal parasitoid of Pangame defoliator, which is having characters like Propodium shiny and solidly rugulose with complete median carina, and Metazoma targets 1 to 6 evenly with the punctate aculate sculpture, and also that second Metazoma targets which is having distinct mid longitudinal carina. Then coming to Cottacia ruficus, which is the larval parasitoid of the Spodoptera fujipara, which is having characters like Propodium coarsely rugose, Metazoma with first and second targets rugulose, and remaining targets are the smooth. Likewise, as characters are given for Anagyrus pseudococci, that is adult parasitoid of Nippococcus nipe, and Paratelinomus, which is egg parasitoid of the Megacopter cripraria. So likewise, all these collected parasites are identified morphologically. Here, Campolitis chloridae, Eriboros species, Charob species and Ophion species, which are collected from the larvae of the Spodoptera frugipara, and these four belongs to the family Ichneumonidae. Then comes to Phaneratoma species, which is collected from the cotton leaf roller, Bracon's species, which is collected from soybean leaf folder. Then Cottacia vestalis, which is collected from the larvae of the diamond backmoth, and Diatriella which is collected from cabbage aphid, Cottacia ruficus, which is collected from the fallarmure, and Chilonas parmesanus, Chilonas species from cashew leaf miner, then Cottaceous species from Pluma, and Micropletis prodine from tobacco caterpillar, Criniprocon chromose, which is from Pongame defoliator. These all belongs to the family Braconidae. And coming to the yellowfeet parasitoids, Tetanicus canobi, which is collected from the eggs of the yellow stem borer, then Rihana species from cotton leaf roller, then Aprostoceta species from cotton leaf roller, and Chrysochari species from cashew leaf miner, Umaiza Sokolowski, which is collected from the pupa of the diamond back moth, then Chrysochari species also from the Phalarmium. These all belongs to the family Yellowfidae. Then coming to Copidosoma floridanum, then Leptomastic nigroscincta, then Prochilonidas pulchellus, and Uyensitta species from soybean leaf folder and brinjal mealybug, then Anagra pseudococci, which is from coconut mealybug. These are all belongs to the family Ensitidae. Then coming to Telonomous species from yellow stem borer and Phalarmion, and Paratelomous anu from podbug, and Trisolca species from Gandhibugs, spotted bollworm and leaf-footed bug. These are all belongs to the family Cilionidae. Then Dihyrhinus anthracea and Brachymeria lacer. These are collected from, one is collected from Dihari caterpillar, another one is from Phalarmium. These are belongs to the family Chasyidae. Then Neurotomous species collected from the cotton leaf roller, which is belongs to family Yellowfidae, which is belongs to family Eurotomidae. Then Encarsia species, which is and Cocophagus pseudococci, they are both belongs to family Aphelinidae. Then Nothosperma species belongs to family Proctotrophidae, and Chatospira species which belongs to family Signiforidae. Pteromelus metallicus, which belongs to family Pteromelidae, and Trichogramma canis, which belongs to Trichogrammatidae. Then coming to species composition of this immunopteran parasite under different families recorded during study period. Among the parasite collected, the Braconidae, here overall total of 12 families were recorded. Among that, Braconidae presented the highest percentage of parasite which are attacking the larva stage of the host insect. In case of species composition of Hymenopteran parasites in Shivamogga district, here the total 10 families were recorded. Among them, here also Braconidae represented the highest percentage of parasites which are attacking the larva stage of the host insect. Coming to the in case of Davanagere district, here 9 families were recorded. Among them, the here NCTD recorded the highest percentage of parasites which are attacking the adult stage of the host insect. In case of Chitradurga district, here total 6 families were recorded. Among them, here also Ichneumonidae represents the highest number of parasites which are attacking the larva stage of the host insect. And also calculated the diversity indices for this parasite species recorded during study period, and observed that more number of parasites and indices was more in case of Shivamogga district compared to Davanagere and Chitradurga. So coming to molecular identification, here selected parasite samples DNA was extracted by using CTAP buffer. That is then for sent obtained that were submitted to NCBS and obtained the accession number. Then constructed a phylogenetic tree that shows that the species belongs to same family clustered together. For example, here Bracon species, Criniprocon chromose, Cottaceous estalis, and Pharanetoma species, these all belongs to the family Braconidae which are clustered together. Then coming to the diversity of Hymenopteran parasites in different maize ecosystem, here an experiment was conducted in AHRS Bavikere, and raised the crop with naturally grown, organic grown and maize grown using farmers practice, and recorded the parasites and their diversity, and more number of parasites were recorded in the organically grown maize, and diversity was also more in case of organically grown maize. Coming to conclusion, during the research study, a total of 43 species of Hymenopteran parasites were recorded, which belongs to the 34 genera of 12 families. And nowadays, since 4 to 5 years, Phalarmium is the burning insect pest. The regular use of insecticide to manage this pest leads to harmful for the environment. So during the study, I recorded overall 9 Hymenopteran parasites from the Phalarmium. So that parasite can be exploited in the biocontrol programs in the future. And also the current situation, as I explained the earlier slide, as in case of organically grown maize, I collected more number of parasites. It is advisable to the farmers go for organic farming, which is eco-friendly, instead of using the insecticides which are harmful to the nature. And also, as a whole Hymenopteran parasite group, this study was first time taken. No one taken this study as a whole Hymenopteran parasite group in India and other countries. So through this, I can give future line of work. Intensive survey and understanding of the species richness of Hymenopteran parasite in different crop ecosystem of India is to be studied, and effort should be made for large scale mass production of this parasite because of their because they are important biocontrol agent, and they use them as a biocontrol of insect pests in the different crops. So, and also study an ecological role of this immunocomparasite different crop ecosystem is needed, and DNA barcoding of some different immunocomparasite species can be has to be done because there is a ambiguity in the morphological identification in case of species complex. I would like to acknowledge overall during my research work, case in UHS Shivamogga, Department of Entomology and Advisor and members of the advisory committee, also ECR, National Bureau of Agriculture, Bureau of Bangalore, helped me in identification of all these parasitoids. Thank you.
Are there any entomology students? ಯಾರು ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
How much parasites expressed by any major group of parasites? So which is beneficial to
I didn't take on that work.
only
I taken diversity and collected the specimens, morphological and molecular identification, and diversity in case of different maize ecosystem. I taken the work. I didn't study the efficacy. I didn't take on that one. That has to be included in future learning.
only how many species are marked?
10 species. Only which are required confirmation I sent for molecular identification.
Species identification only genus level identified or species?
Some are species also identified, some are yet to be confirmed from the expertise, so that I didn't keep the species name. So it is just mentioned SP.
Continuing with his question,
Yes.
I think he wanted to know because in one of this one you had just mentioned as Braconn species and you have given the number also.
Yes.
Even through molecular techniques you are not able to identify the species?
No sir, so even because Braconn species are so much complex sir, even so many of them didn't submitted the that sequences sir, so it is difficult to get Braconn species molecular identification also.
Okay. And who has been identification of all these things?
Sir, I taken L from the even Ankita Gupta from India.
Ankita Gupta. Okay. That is one thing because my comment generally is it looks like a very broad study.
Yes sir, that's why first time it is
Your
taken.
PhD student,
Yes sir.
it should have been more focused.
Yes.
Okay, when you at the end when you make a comment, no one has made this study. Somehow I think this is a sort of a practice to claim. Even the first student also told no one has made this study. In fact, I wanted to make a comment then itself. I'm just making a general comment. When the first student mentioned the etiology, I wanted to ask the question, what is the definition of etiology? Does that mean that no one has studied the etiology of this? So be careful when you make such claims.
Means
Because this type of diversity studies, through review, you can find out how much of studies have been made on hymenopteran parasites throughout the country. You do not have to make a comment that no one has made a study on diversity of hymenopteran parasites.
As a whole parasitoid group of the
No, they will be. You will have to put together the data and you will get the information on diversity. One is that. And these photographs are your own photographs or what?
is own photographs on this.
Own photographs?
Yes.
Then I have a very serious objection. Why did you use these photographs? Tell me.
Sir, because these are the parasites are collected, sir.
That is different. You can
And
put the names.
But
Yeah,
Then-
but continue.
they can't come to know, sir, which is which one.
Yes. For that, I will ask the question. Does that really help me to know this is the thing? Because your photographs are just blurred images, just black. So if you say, I have added a photograph to help in identification, it should be clear cut. Very good photographs. This only brings you down it brings down the merit of presentation rather than improving the presentation. Anything that you use on your slides, you should improve the quality of slides rather than bring down the quality of slides. Just merely putting some, I will have to take a class on photography then. How the lighting has to be done, how the photographs have to be captured, etc. I will not go into that. But my one suggestion is, if you use something like that, it should be very clear, because anything should be adding to the quality of that. Okay? I'm taking too much time and time for other judges.
Darshan has quite a good work related to the diversity. So rather than presenting so many insect family wise, would it have been better if you could have projected crop wise? So probably that would have made the presentation in brinjal or in maize. What are the, rather than, yes, technically family wise you have done the classification. What do you think for an audience like this? It would have been better to have crop wise parasitoids?
Yes, sir. I can classify crop wise also because I collected from this.
You could have done that, right?
Yes, sir.
So that would have made things much more easier for us, because 43, right?
Yes.
The total number
Yes.
that you presented here.
When I comment that it is a more generalized this one, the same data you can improve by what Dr. Kushalappa was telling. Another is because one is, this is not pure taxonomic work also. Pure taxonomy is you are an expert in hymenopteran parasitoids and you are identifying them, that's a different thing. That's pure, this is not pure taxonomic work. Then where do I put this work in? Because you have not improved your expertise in identifying the parasitoids. Then what else can you do? Then you go to the ecology of that one. What is ecology of that one? What Dr. Kushalappa mentioned. Okay, in this crop system, I get these many parasitoids. Only one slide I found was helpful. I will have again ask what was the sample size for that, where you mentioned organic farming, natural farming, farmers practice, fine. Like that, different types of analysis and also the geographical analysis. Because restricting yourself to Davangere district, Chitranagara district, Shivamogga district doesn't help. Agroclimatic distribution, etc. Okay, I'll stop at that. Maybe comment we can do later. We will go to the next presentation.
Yes.
To the next presentation.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, we will have to go to the next presentation.
Just 1 minute. She said, no, all of you said, already I think for last 5-6 years there. So your object is only specific to this scholar or general?
Not sir, general. General, sir.
Or general. Second thing is, you said some studies from Boikere farm was taken.
Yes.
Only Boikere farm or sampled across the zones?
Sir, sampled across these different locations, but last objective, one objective I get only for maize ecosystem, the big one.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Darshan. So next presenter is PT Shivamogga. Presenter. After the presentation, you be ready.
Good morning all, respected dignitaries, teachers and my dear friends. I am myself Deepti Dechama, pursuing my third year PhD from the Department of Silviculture and Agroforestry under the guidance of Dr. G.M. Devgiri.
You should not mention the names of your chairman at all.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
It should be just, no mention of your guide, no mention of your other this. Only your this.
Yes.
Okay.
I will be presenting on carbon sequestration potential of forest and coffee-based agroforestry in the central western Ghats of Kodagu. Climate change, it is a serious issue. Climate change resulting from increase in the greenhouse gas has resulted in some of the climate extremities. It has resulted in some of the global threat affecting food security and sustainability. To address this issue of climate change, to address this issue of climate change, mitigation and adaptation measures are taken. Tree-based landscapes acts as carbon sink. It helps to mitigate the impacts of climate change. And forest and tree can sequester about 331 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is around 15% of carbon emission occurring in the country. And Kodagu, it is located in central western Ghats. Here the 81% of the landscape are under tree covering major forest types and also the coffee agroforest. And these trees acts as a sinks for the carbon. Hence this study was conducted to assess the carbon sequestration potential of forest and coffee agroforest of Kodagu. These are the objectives, that is to assess the carbon sequestration potential of forest and coffee-based agroforestry, then to estimate soil organic carbon of these land use, then the geospatial mapping of the soil organic carbon. Here, for my study, the Kodagu region was divided into two vegetation types based on the rainfall and the vegetation, and in that 5 tree-based land use systems were taken. That is with two types of coffee agroforest, that is coffee canifora and coffee arabica, and in the two types of coffee agroforest, one with the native shade trees and with the monoculture was considered. And native shade trees is that if the more than 80% of shade trees are native trees, it is considered as native tree plot, and if more than 80% of shade trees are present as silver, this is considered as monoculture. Similarly, it was also considered in the moist deciduous vegetation. And this is the map showing the distribution of plots laid out across the tree-based landscapes of Kodagu. These are the different land uses. The C1 is the coffee arabica with native trees, and D the coffee canifora with the silver oak, and E is evergreen forest, and F is moist deciduous forest. And for my study, we laid around 15 plots were laid out in each of these land uses, and totally 150 plots were laid out across all the land uses. For this, the plots of size 40 by 40 meter were taken, and within this 40 by 40 meter plot, trees of girth more than 30 centimeter were measured, and within this plot, at the diagonal corners, 5 by 5 meter plots were laid for estimation of shrub biomass in the forest, and about 5 1 by 1 meter plots at the 4 corners and at the center was taken for estimation of herb biomass. And coming to in the coffee agroforest, within the 40 by 40 meter plot, at the corners 5 by 5 meter plots were laid out for estimation of coffee plant biomass. And parameters that are taken are tree growth parameters, height and girth, and in coffee height and girth at 1 cm and 15 cm. Shrub and herb biomass will be taken, and soil samples are collected at 5 different depths, that is 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80 and 80 to 100. This is first image shows the laying out of the plot, and the second one the tree girth measurement. And third is the coffee girth measurement. For the estimation of soil organic carbon, soil samples were collected at 5 depths using auger, and these samples were air dry, and those samples were the soil organic carbon estimation was done by a Wackler-Lux method. The step we follow for estimation of carbon content is present, and using this the carbon content will be estimated. The carbon sequestration potential will be estimated. Then the bulk density of the sample will be estimated by Keen's cup method. Soil organic carbon is estimated by wet dilution method, and total soil organic carbon pool is estimated. For considering for the